Bear in mind, I just spent the last 20, 30, maybe 45 minutes approximately, probably closer to the 40, based on what I was listening to, writing something that's quite beautiful that people don't know. I'm spoon feeding it to the public eventually, at least that's the plan. This is what I was just presented with. At a blush, I just glanced through here, and if I'm not wrong, this is everything wrong with who you and I are surrounded by. I'm going to read it to you. Not that I probably should take the time and energy to do so. If I respond to this person and I'm right about what I just thought, keep in mind, I usually urge you guys to think, don't react, which is why I'm trying to take pause in between burning potatoes and doing what I was doing a minute ago and all the other things I'd prefer to do in terms of living life. Yeah. Either way, neither here nor there, for the most part. As it reads, I wish, with no comments, or commas, the masters were able to actually control their slaves. This is how this is what they led with. This is the statement. That's a terrifying assertion. Through and fucking through. I mean, unless this is, a bot or AI or who knows what. It's probably a human is my point. Because people are fucking stupid. Back to point. There are no real masters. That's bullshit. Anybody with a brain in their head knows that's bullshit. And you have to be a fucking brain dead muppet to urge others to believe that, let alone assert it. Okay, moving along. There are no real masters. They cater to them. So now there are no great projects. I'm going to read that again because this kid's a fucking retard. There are no real masters. They cater. So there's no real masters, but somebody in terms of they cater to. In other words, this does not make sense. There are no real masters. They cater to them. Are we talking about the people again who don't have masters based on your assumption? Is that what you're saying? There are no real masters. They cater to them, comma. So now there are no great projects? What the fuck are you referring to? Back to point. Maybe this kid's, high as fuck, drunk, or who knows what, and or, has fallen down and has a concussion. Compare our stagnant time with that of the 40s and 50s. Our stagnant time. What does this mean to this fucking retard? Our stagnant time? What does that mean? Is this slang? Stagnation? How does that refer to what we're experiencing currently with a boom of technology and propaganda? It's far from stagnant. Especially if you consider, in stark contrast, comparing and contrasting the 40s and the 50s with what we're experiencing today. Everything has been ramped up. You can take movies for a prime example. I usually rattle off, what is the original film with Gene Hackman? He's in both of these films. This is an example I usually rattle off. Look up The Conversation. I like it. I think it's a jazzy, great flick. It's a slow burn. Just watch the beginning of The Conversation, and it will slowly pan into a public square, which I think of as a plaza, and you're listening to a conversation. It's pretty on the nose. It's also meta, as people would think of today, because that's what the name of the movie is. Then you flash forward, and they crapped out, and by they, in this case, I'm referring to our fucking masters, crapped out Enemy of the State with Will Smith, who is a talentless fucking hack. He's a baby-eating, child-molesting piece of shit. He's part of the club. Not saying Gene Hackman wasn't. And neither of them have ever played a role where they truly fucking acted. Because they were part of the club. Just to be clear. Gene Hackman and Will Smith are both in the other project as well. And if you just play both of these back to back, just the beginning of the fucking Enemy of the State movie is just one fucking noisy fucking thing after the other. You get a flash of that pedophile Seth Green. You get a flash of that fucking, Ashkenazi, fill in the fucking blank, Jack Black. You get a flash of, and it's just one flash after another with a bunch of pointless noise. You get a little bit of satellite propaganda, etc., etc., etc. And this would insult anybody with a brain in their head. But what do I know? Back to point. Both of which feel like a Greek heroic age with the discovery of DNA. Mass scale application of eugenics, the atom bomb, the Soviet experiment, and then there's quotes, competing with the Republic. If what you're, there's no apostrophe, saying is true, and we're having critical thinking, planning several steps ahead, what else is needed for legitimacy to rule? Why would their fascism, and it's their fascism in quotes, mind you, fascism specifically, be a bad thing? Who in the flying fuck would fucking say something like that? Genocide, it's where you murder lots of people. It's not a good thing. There's no way to dress that up as something that's remotely okay. That's fascism, in case you're a fucking retard. What a waste of my goddamn time. Yes. Did you see that message that just popped up? That's because fascism is alive and well, because we have masters and they moderate the DARPA internet. That's who trained us to use the DARPA internet. That's who trained us to use cellular devices. That's who trained us to use these social engineering applications. Because we have masters. You sign a W-2 because you have masters. This kid's a fucking muppet.